powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, VON Radio, from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
From the VON Newsline, this is the VON Major Newscast.
Good evening. I am Tashwan Tyson, in with your VON Major News package for today, Tuesday, 25th June 2019. In our lead stories, nationally, 4th President to be installed at Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, and 12 move on to Groovy Soca semifinals after eliminations. Regionally, illegal Haitian migrants apprehended in the Bahamas. Internationally, Rouhani derides new sanctions as useless as Iran-US crisis continues. And in sports, Australia defeats England in today's ICC Cricket World Cup match. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, VON.
Welcome back. Another national news in detail. The Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, CFBC, will be inaugurating a new president at the institution. Jacqueline J. Austin, PhD, will be installed as the 4th president at the college. Her position will become effective on Wednesday, 26 June 2019, following a ceremony in the grounds of the main campus, Burton Street, Bastia, St. Kitts. The event will endow Dr. Austin with presidential authority through investiture of the college's medallion and keys, which represent the transfer of the responsibility and an obligation to promote and maintain the values of the institution. Dr. Austin's presidency follows that of the institution's 3rd president, Dr. Kelvin Daly, whose role was followed by a 1-year acting presidency role by Miss Ione Bullitt. The Nevis Culturama Committee held eliminations for the 2019 National Bank Groovy Soca Monarch on the evening of Monday, 24th June. The event was hosted by Chair of the Soca Monarch Subcommittee, Mr. Remigio Itabulus Powell. This year's activity was different, as the event was a city elimination held by NTV and broadcast live via their Facebook page. From a field of 16 artists, 4 were eliminated, leaving 12 artists vying for a spot in the semifinals. The 12 semifinalists are Ivica with Rescue Me, X-Man with No Place I'd Rather Be, Divi with Soca Episode, Savage with Soca Junkie, Lil Miss with the Mother of Culturama, Pakis with Enjoy the Fete, Lady Hammond with Burning Desires, Soca Empress with Goody Fete, Hollywood with Over 35, Ras with WhatsApp, Etodan with Fete, and Badman Polo with Cheetah. Celebrating our progress as a nation, 35 years of early stimulation. That's the theme for the 35th celebration of Child Month in St. Kitts Nevis. Celebrated every year throughout the month of June, the St. Kitts and Nevis education departments and multiple preschools and daycare centers held a number of activities centered on the children's development, environment, health and nutrition, accomplishments, and decision-making. The Honorable Youth and Troy Liburd, Junior Minister with responsibility for education, made an address to launch the month of activities on June 1st, 2019. The month continued with a combined church service involving all preschools and nurseries, which was held at the Jindalan Methodist Church. The Honorable Troy Liburd's visit to preschools and nurseries across Nevis, parent sensitization workshops conducted by Miss Florence Smithen throughout the month, a Dancing with the Stars, the annual Child Month Street Parade, the first ever Prince and Princess Show, and an appreciation dinner for the works of the registered child care centers and long-standing child care workers. The VON Newsline spoke to early childhood coordinator Mrs. Donnie Lance, based at the Department of Education, NIA, for feedback on the activities that have taken place thus far in this Child's Month. She stated that the department has had a successful and productive Child Month based on the response of the general public towards the activities thus far. The activities remaining in Child's Month include an Appreciation Day for the children on June 27, 2019, where each school would be eligible to use the opportunity to hold special activities of their selection, and on June 28, 2019, the children from the preschools and daycare centers will travel to St. Kitts to participate in a parade with the schools and centers in St. Kitts. Meanwhile, Premier of Nevis and Minister of Education, the Honorable Mark Brantley, during the opening statements of his monthly press conference held on June 25, 2019, recognized the success of the activities of Child's Month.
The activities for Child Month, I'm told, have been very successful thus far. The parade on June 7th was the largest we have seen in years, and we also had the first ever Everyone's a Winner Prince and Princess show on June 13th. NEPAC was full to capacity as hundreds came out to witness the preschoolers on stage.
Premier of Nevis and Minister of Education, the Honorable Mark Brantley, during an interview with the Early Childhood Coordinator, Ms. Donnie Lands, also mentioned that the general public was quite impressed with the first ever Prince and Princess show. Held on June 14, 2019, the Prince and Princess show showcased the talents of 2 participants, a male and female from each school. Each child was given a gift for participation. Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, Mr. Timothy Antoine, presented His Excellency Governor General Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, GCMG, CVO, QCJP, with the soon-to-be-released EC $50 Paulina banknote. He did this when he paid a courtesy call to the Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis on Monday, 24th June. The note features long-serving late Governor of the Central Bank, the Honorable Sir K. Dwight Venner. The new notes will have several enhanced features such as a portrait orientation, upgraded images and landmarks, unique tactile, feature holographic foil strip, new image on the $50, and a new signature. His Excellency Seaton thanked Governor Antoine for his presentation and lauded the outstanding contributions of the late former governor and extolled the many contributions of the Central Bank to the development of the ECCU states. The Nevis Tourism Authority is gearing up to host the 6th annual Nevis Mango and Food Festival. The event is slated to run from July 4th to July 7th, 2019. Chief Executive Officer in the Nevis Tourism, Mr. Greg Phillip, in an interview with the VON Newsline, highlighted the objective of the festival.
The real objective of it ultimately is to keep the island of Nevis and its tourism product relevant throughout the slow summer season, and to also try to change the summer season into something more vibrant on Nevis when we talk about tourism on Nevis.
This year, the Nevis Mango and Food Festival is headlined by UK Iron Chef Judy Joom. The events for this year's festival include the festival's grand opening, Cooking Mango Masterclass, Mango Dinner at Sunshine's, Mango Tasting Sessions, Nevis Village Food Tour 2019, Mango Dinner at Passion Bar and Grill, and Nevision Chef's Mango Feast 2019. One of the highlights of the festival is the cooking competition, Nevision Chef's Mango Feast, slated for Sunday, 7th July at 12 p.m.
We created the cooking competition a few years ago. This time it's not just among restaurants on Nevis. This time we've gone totally regional. So we have a team from Nevis, team from St. Kitts, team from Barbados, team from Antigua. And so we're definitely expecting that the Sunday afternoon is going to be a great time.
Mr. Greg Phillip. Some 16 Nevision chefs are expected to be participating in the event this year. And finally, a groundbreaking ceremony was held on Monday, June 24, 2019, to start the construction of the brand new home base for the Ministry of National Security's expanding social intervention program, the Explorers Youth Club Initiative. The ceremony was held at Mulfield Extension in Phillips Village on St. Kitts, where the new Mulfield Explorers Club campsite will be built. Once completed, the structure will serve as the official campsite for the entire Explorers Youth Club Initiative and will, in time, serve as the base for the community policing team. Upon the completion, the building will feature separate sleeping rooms for boys and girls with a capacity to house up to 250 children, a separate sleeping area for staff, a recreational room, a dining room and kitchen, and an office. The building will also be wheelchair accessible to accommodate the differently abled. The Explorers Clubs was first launched in 2017 as part of the community policing initiative involving children from ages 4 to 17 years old, with an aim to provide a safe haven for children in the communities in which they are found. That's the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, this here's another one for the steppers.
Swipe to win big in 2019. That's right, the Bank of Nevis Limited is once again giving you, our valued customers, a chance to win big. Just swipe or use your Bond Visa credit card for US $100 for a chance to win a cruise for two, an iPhone XS, or a grocery dash at Best Buy Supermarket.
Say what?
Sign up for a Bond Visa credit card and automatically be entered for a chance to win. This offer ends August 31st, 2019. So tell your friends and family, just swipe to win big with the Bank of Nevis. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram.
Welcome back. Now the regional news in detail. A joint operation by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, RBDF, and Operation Bahamas Turks and Caicos, OPBA team, with the support of the Bahamas Immigration Department, has resulted in the apprehension of a Haitian sailing vessel with 100 undocumented Haitian nationals. The vessel was intercepted approximately 30 nautical miles northwest of Inagua around 2:20 p.m. last Thursday, according to the RBDF. The OPBAT helicopter spotted the vessel, and the Defense Force interceptor stationed in Inagua subsequently apprehended it. The vessel was later assisted by HMVS Livingstone Smith. The migrants, 89 males, 11 females, were transported to Inagua, where they were handed over to immigration authorities for processing. Out of Haiti. Over the last few weeks, massive protests have rocked Haiti, with thousands nationwide demanding the resignation of President Jovenel Moïse over fraud and corruption allegations. A report published on May 31st concerning misspending of monies from a Petro-Carib fund implicated two companies closely connected to President Moïse. While he has denied the allegations, protests have intensified. Due to a pattern of ignoring established procedures and authority in the Organization of American States, OAS, a delegation went to troubled Haiti on June 19th without any discussion or mandate by the Permanent Council, the organ responsible for making and overseeing policy between General Assemblies. The results of the unmandated OAS delegation to Haiti are left to be seen, but early reports by the U.S. public service broadcaster The Voice of America, VOA, indicate a hostile response so far. The usual response in the OAS to situations such as Haiti now faces is that countries like the United States and Canada, backed by others, call for the establishment of a working group to monitor the situation in the country, demand the establishment of investigatory machinery, insist that the government provide guarantees for safety to protesters and stipulate that a supervised process of dialogue be instituted between all political parties. When an offshore oil production project is nearing its end, the operators prepare for an activity called decommissioning. This involves the safe draining and removal of pipelines, partial or complete dismantling of platforms, and the safe capping of wells. It is an activity that can cost billions of dollars. In light of this, oil-producing nations across the world establish special funds or accounts that the oil operator contributes an annual fee to, so that when that abandonment period comes, there is enough funding to cover it. Guyana's Production Sharing Agreement, PSA, makes no provision for the pre-funding of this activity. As such, University of Houston instructor Tom Mitro says Guyana finds itself in a most dangerous situation. He said that at the earliest opportunity, Guyana should correct this loophole that leaves it open to high risk in all contracts and even its model PSA going forward. The university professor then pointed to another damning observation in relation to this subject matter. According to Section 20.1 DDG and Accounting Procedure Section 3.1 of the Guyana Exxon Mobil deal, the oil giant can tabulate a budget for abandonment and recover a portion of that budget in the form of oil years before it is time for decommissioning. And finally, out of the U.S. Virgin Islands. The Senate Rules and Judiciary Committee made a quick turnaround on Monday, convening in the late afternoon and approving the bill redirecting some $39 million in Medicaid payments that it held in committee on Friday. The Rules Committee approval means the bill will go to a vote when the full Senate convenes in session on Tuesday, even though the same bill already appeared on the Senate session agenda Monday morning before the Rules Committee's vote Monday afternoon. The $39.5 million from the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services is the result of an audit of cost reports for the years 2011 and 2013 that showed Medicare underpaid the territory's medical facilities. The initial Senate bill proposed that a bulk of the amount should go to the territory's hospitals and to the Water and Power Authority by paying down the bills the hospitals owed WAPA. And that's it for the regional stories. Stay with us for news from around the world. Welcome back. Another international news in detail. Iran's President Hassan Rouhani has responded with defiance to the latest sanctions imposed by the U.S., saying they show it is lying about wanting dialogue. Hassan Rouhani said the measures against Iran's supreme leader unveiled by Donald Trump on Monday would be useless and denounced U.S. plans to target his foreign minister.
President Trump said Iran's latest statement was insulting. He vowed that an attack by Iran on anything American would trigger an overwhelming response and could bring obliteration. The escalating war of words is likely to raise fears that Iran and the United States are headed toward conflict. Washington has demanded that Iran agree to new restrictions to curb its nuclear program, but also its missile program and support for Arab militias. Iran has refused to negotiate while crippling oil and financial sanctions are in place, accusing the United States of waging economic warfare.
The move showed the White House was mentally retarded, Mr. Rouhani added. Mr. Trump said he was responding to recent aggressive behavior by Iran. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has lashed out at the ignorant and insulting statement released by Iran after the U.S. president announced fresh sanctions against the Middle Eastern nation. The tweets came after Iran's President Hassan Rouhani said the move proved the White House was mentally retarded. Mr. Trump said it showed Iran's leaders do not understand reality. The BBC's Beg Tafik reports.
Fortunately, what America is doing today means their certain failure and their definitive defeat. I have no doubt in this. No smart man would do the things that they're doing today. You get the feeling that the American leadership and the White House are frustrated and very confused.
Mr. Trump said the only thing Iran understood was strength and power, and the U.S. is by far the most powerful military force in the world. Any attack by Iran on anything American will be met with great and overwhelming force, he added in a tweet. In some areas, overwhelming will meet obliteration. The former British Prime Minister Gordon Brown has warned that the future of the union between England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland is more at risk than at any other time in 300 years. The ex-Labour Party leader said the United Kingdom risked unraveling because of Brexit and what he termed the narrow nationalism of the Conservative Scottish National Party government.
It is under threat from a Scottish nationalism that has become more extreme and more determined to create completely separate institutions, and it's under threat from either the indifference or the antipathy of the Conservative Party, which has ceased being the Conservative and Unionist Party, as I've said, and is now the Conservative and Brexit Party.
Donald Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor Jared Kushner has set out an economic plan that he says offers the Palestinians a more prosperous future if they agree to a peace deal with Israel. He described the proposals, which envisaged $50 billion being invested in the region over 10 years, as the opportunity of the century. Mr. Kushner was speaking at the start of a two-day workshop in Bahrain.
Economic growth and prosperity for the Palestinian people are not possible without an enduring and fair political solution to the conflict, one that guarantees Israel's security and respects the dignity of the Palestinian people. The goal of this workshop is to begin thinking about these challenges in a new way and work together to develop a concrete plan to try and achieve it.
Palestinian leaders have rejected the plan and are boycotting the event. No Israeli authorities are attending the event. And finally, a UN expert has warned of a possible climate apartheid where the rich pay to escape from hunger while the rest of the world is left to suffer. Even if current targets are met, millions will be impoverished, said Philip Alston, the UN's Special Rapporteur on Extreme Poverty. He also criticized steps taken by UN bodies as patently inadequate. Ticking boxes will not save humanity or the planet from impending disaster, Mr. Alston warned. The Australian native is part of the UN's panel of independent experts and submitted his report, which is based on existing research, to the UN Human Rights Council on Monday. That brings us to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
See you, John. Betty, how come you never tell me what's going on up at TDC?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because TDC Automotive has some awesome deals. Get the car and use spare tire for just $100 plus VAT. And they have selected tires for 30% off. And for the Jeep, if you buy a selected Goodyear tire, you can get a second one for just $99.
Well, well.
And not finished yet. They're offering up to 30% off selected Valvoline oils and universal car mats and a whopping 50% off Energix batteries.
TDC Automotive not making no joke. I going up there now.
Welcome back. Another sports in detail. In ICC cricket, England's World Cup hopes hang in the balance after the demoralising defeat by Australia at Lord's, London. The 64-run loss means they might need to win their last two games, beginning with India at Edgbaston on Sunday in order to make the last four. The hosts began the tournament as favourites, but now have little margin for error, with this loss following Friday's shock reverse to Sri Lanka to make a total of 3 defeats in 7 games. England did well to restrict Australia to 285 for 7, especially after captain Aaron Finch's century helped his team to 173 for 1. The final scores for today's match are as follows. Australia 285 for 7 in 50 overs. Finch 100, Warner 53, Hawkes 2 for 46. England 221 all out in 44.4 overs. Stokes 89, Bairstow 27. Australia won by 64 runs. In local cricket, the Leeward Islands Cricket Board has announced their team that will participate in the Cricket West Indies Under-17 tournament to be held in Trinidad and Tobago from July 4th to 15th, 2019. The 14-man team will also include 6 division cricketers. The local cricketers departed to Antigua to try out for the Leewards Under-17 team last week, along with the many other potential cricketers from other islands. The Under-17 team members are as follows. Rashid Henry, captain of Antigua and Barbuda, Tijari Clark, vice-captain of Nevis, Jaden Carmichael of Nevis, Onaje Amri of Nevis, Clinton Reith of Montserrat, Nathan Edwards of St. Martin, Kelvin Pittman of Antigua and Barbuda, Kenny Sutton of Antigua and Barbuda, Gilroy Andrew of Antigua and Barbuda, Malik Walsh of Antigua and Barbuda, Jalen Francis, Antigua and Barbuda, Callum Bowen Tuckett of Nevis, Anderson Amadan of Nevis, and Acadiento Willett of Nevis. And finally, in football, FIFA says it is currently looking into Cameroon's behavior during their World Cup last 16 defeat by England. It comes after African football chief said it reflected badly on African football. England's 3-0 victory on Sunday was marred by Cameroon's reaction to 2 video assistant referee decisions and poor challenges on England's players. A FIFA spokesperson told BBC Sport further updates will be provided in due course. Earlier on Monday, Aisha Johansson, chair of the Confederation of African Football's Women's Football Committee, said she wanted an investigation to be opened. There was an on-pitch protest by Cameroon's players after England's second goal, scored by Ellen White, was awarded by VAR. Cameroon was also visibly upset when, with the score at 2-0, Ajaya goal was ruled out for offside by VAR. That's it for sports. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back, and now the local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight will be partly cloudy with a 30% or low chance of showers. Weather tomorrow will be partly sunny with a 30% or low chance of showers. Winds are east to east, southeast at 8 to 15 knots or 15 to 28 kilometers per hour. Seas are 1.5 or 5 feet. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:39 a.m. And that's how I wrap up the Midday News package for today, Tuesday, 25th June 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, 4th president to be installed at Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, and 12 move on to Groovy Soccer semi-finals after eliminations. Regionally, illegal Haitian migrants apprehended in the Bahamas. Internationally, Rouhani derides new sanctions as useless as Iran-US crisis continues. And in sports, Australia defeats England in today's ICC Cricket World Cup match. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tashan Tyson, wishing you a pleasant evening.